So is this a good idea? Well, let's ask the expert and bring in Dominick Izzo, former police officer. Dominick, thank you for joining me on this. You wrote a book, Before the Badge, everything you need to know before you become a cop. Well, this is after you become a cop. This is if you don't become a cop. Do you think it's a good idea for these suburban areas to start plans to secede from metro areas when they feel like they're not getting any attention?
They have to do something, because where do you think crime is going to go? You know, if you're going to be constantly trying to get blood from a stone out of your area and, police start cracking you down, like out here in the Chicago area, we got Cook County. I'm in a suburb of Cook County. I'm 20 minutes outside of the city, which is just right down I-90. It costs nothing for these, criminals to jump in their car, get on the tollway, and just go to another neighborhood, commit crimes. Suburban cops, which I was one for quite a long time, we're not. We don't know who the players are. You commit crime out here in the area, go right back down to the city. It's going to be a field day for everybody at that point.
Well, do they have any other choice, though? I mean, I remember back in the 80s and even the 90s. Is it getting so bad, though, that neighborhood watch groups are not even effective anymore? Is it more crime that even these neighborhood groups can look out for?
Who wants to be a neighborhood watch when you go and do your job and then all of a sudden you do something and then you're going to be held liable because you confronted somebody like Trayvon Martin was years ago? Honestly, every time we want to come up with a solution for this problem, we keep just brushing the dirt right underneath the rug without doing this. What the news really has to do is, although I love talking about this stuff all the time, we have to have psychologists come on the news and talk about the correlation between what social media, what the media does, how it fuels emotions, and how you are getting all of these people who are so impressionable being fed lies or mistruths or whatnot, seeing their culture, their race, their community allegedly attacked by police. And what kind of frame of mind does that put them in to go and commit crimes in a system where they're not held accountable or prosecuted or released on bond? So this is an extremely dynamic, living, breathing problem that we're just taking it one little piece at a time and it really needs to be seen a lot more.
But Dominick, let's just get real here. Do you believe they'll actually have that conversation? I mean, that's a very frank conversation, uncomfortable conversation to have, and the policies that would result from it. Do you realistically thinking, especially the way that the world is today in 2022, the way we are here in the United States, that conversation can ever actually happen?
No, because problems sell, right? If you have a business, any business in the world is designed to solve problems. If you're hungry, a restaurant is there designed to solve your problem with giving you food. So politicians, both sides, the left and the right, they are so great at either causing or allowing the problems. The problems perpetuate. They run on the issues. They keep getting reelected. We need to start going after the problem, and the problem is our elected officials. If we start holding them accountable, you're going to see a big change.
Well, these officials in Atlanta are actually worried about the loss of tax revenue, especially considering Buckhead is one of the most affluent areas, not only in Georgia, but the entire country. Could there be any other disadvantage to a small community forming its own law enforcement? Like you said, they don't know who the big players are in town, but do they lose any other sort of connection?
Scotty, I don't even think that's possible. I don't know how that would work because they still fall within a county's jurisdiction and a state's jurisdiction. So, I mean, a private security force, no matter what it is, they're still going to be limited in the scopes of their investigation, their use of force. I have no idea how that would even be remotely possible. And honestly, it's dangerous. It's extremely dangerous to look at that place. I think residents need to start showing up to village hall meetings more, demanding. I would love to see us go back into the day and age of tarring and feathering our politicians or throwing down like parliaments do. But until that starts happening, no, there's not going to be a solution in sight.
Okay, you bring the tar, I bring the feathers, and I promise you we can come up with a long list of politicians that are actually deserving of it. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks.